Hi, Charlotte. I'm Carolyn Faulkner. Bill and I met you after we visited St. Stephen's worship service in the old Sardis Presbyterian building last Sunday. I got your phone number from the church. They told me you and Dick were charter members. I hope it's okay to call you out of the blue like this.
Well, sure, Carolyn. I'm glad to hear you. I remember you. I've got a little bit of time before I have to put Oops down for a nap.
Excuse me, did you say oops? You've got to feed him?
Yes, that's an old family story. This is a nickname that my older boys gave him. Oops is 4 months old, and our older boys are 10 and 11, and they very affectionately decided to call him Oops.
Oh my, well, I just wanted to say thank you, sort of, for recommending us as potential church members to Pastor Jim Armstrong.
Well, Carolyn, why did you say thank you, sort of?
Well, it all happened so fast. I mean, you recommended us to Pastor Armstrong on Sunday, and the very next afternoon, he was knocking on our door, inviting us to join the church.
Well, Carolyn, Pastor Armstrong is pretty passionate about getting the new church up and running, and we really need people like you and Bill, especially young families like you, to invest in the church if we want St. Stephen to get a hold and grow. I hope it was okay I gave him your name.
Of course, but when we considered joining a church in Charlotte, we were thinking more along the lines of a church with at least a sanctuary and some Sunday school rooms.
Tell me about it. When Dick and I were looking for a church to join, I was sort of homebound with Oops. And so I sent him out to look for a church hunt with the two older boys, but I sent him out with very specific instructions. He was supposed to look for some place that had old buildings, and all their buildings, which would mean it was an established church, and there would be no capital campaigns. But then one day, our neighbor Bob Bean came over and knocked on our door, and he said to us, "We're building a new church here in Southeast Charlotte, and we're having a meeting this week, and we'd like to invite you two to come." Well, Dick went, and when he came home, he said, "That's it. This is the church we're going to join." Well, I asked him if he had completely lost his mind, because that was the exact opposite of what we had talked about. Now, the building that we joined, after we joined, that's what happened. The building wasn't even an old building. It was in Lansdowne Elementary School. We met in the cafeteria. Oops was baptized in the auditorium, and the Sunday schools were held in the hallways.
I guess when you're busy raising a young family like we both are, and money is tight, investing in a financial commitment to a church is not on the top of your priority list.
Well, yes, that's true. But Carolyn, it also means that you get to dream big. My dream after we get into a real building will be to have a church with a scouting program and even a preschool. I don't even care if we have a steeple.
I guess it's not so much about the money, but it's about making an investment in not only our children's educational and spiritual future, but in our own as well, Charlotte.
I agree. Oh, Carolyn, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go. It's time for Oops to go down for a nap. But I have really enjoyed talking to you, and I hope that someday we'll be at St. Stephen together and we can work together.
Charlotte, thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and see you in church.
Thank you. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Carolyn. Bye-bye. Good morning, Carolyn. I'm sitting here enjoying my 3-shot espresso caramel apple latte with pumpkin flavoring whipped cream, and it is so sweet. It reminded me of you. So I just thought I'd give you a call. Can you believe it has been 55 5 years since we founded St. Stephen Methodist Church.
You and I had no idea at the time when we became charter members what a major investment we were making. And we also had no idea the impact of our investment in St. Stephen would have on our lives and the lives of our family. Now, here's a little known fact. I was pregnant with my second child when St. Stephen moved into this brand new sanctuary. Jackie Pace, who was also pregnant, and I actually had a race to see who would have the first child baptized in the new church. Jackie won.
Well, speaking of children, can you believe the hundreds and hundreds of youngsters that have attended St. Stephen Preschool?
Can you believe I ended up becoming the preschool director?
And can you believe over 220 young men have achieved the rank of Eagle Scout right here at St. Stephen's? That's just amazing to me. My 2 boys were among the Eagle Scouts, and our oldest son is still an assistant scoutmaster for Troop 118 right here at St. Stephen.
That's quite a legacy we've helped build, along with many, many other committed church members.
One thing that has always impressed me about St. Stephen was back when we were getting started as a church, we only had $500 in our church bank account. But regardless of that, we gave a small portion of that to missions, local missions. Now, I think Jim Armstrong had a strong emphasis on being missional. He wanted our church to be a mission church, known for being missions. So back in the early years, he started us on that path, and we as a church have never looked back.
When you think of the impact we've had in our community, both local and overseas, through programs like Room at the Inn, Habitat for Humanity, Stoves for Guatemala, mission trips to Appalachia and beyond, and the impact St. Stephen has had in local lives through our preschool and scouting programs and youth ministries, can we really count and measure that?
I guess when you combine people's compassion with God's passion and his desire to do good for his people, the return on that investment can be incredible. It's really beyond measure.
I hope the roots and legacies we and those other 69 charter members helped establish back in 1968 can keep going this year and into the future.
Well, they can, Carolyn, as long as possible, as long as people keep in mind that stewardship isn't just about the money. It's about our calling, and it's about our service, and about finding meaning and purpose through the giving of our time and our talents and our gifts and our resources.
I have a great feeling that the folks of St. Stephen are going to keep building for future generations. That's just how we roll, Charlotte.
Amen to that, Carolyn. I'll see you in the church on Sunday.
Bye,
my
Charlotte.
friend.
Love you.